Sometimes we want to find the slope of a line given 2 points on the line. Instead of graphing it, we need a formula. So the formula for finding slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And those are subscripts, not squares or powers. Let's look at an example and see if we can make sense out of this. For example 1, I'm going to give you the points -2, -4, and 2, 4. And we're not going to graph them, we're just going to plug them in. So I label my x's, and the first x I see, I put a subscript 1, and the second x I see, I call it an x sub 2. I do the same thing with the y's. The first one I see is y1, second one is y2. And now I'm going to plug these into that formula. See where the y2 is? I'm going to place a 4 in its place. Minus, see where the y1 is? y1 was -4, so I'm going to plug that in its place. Over x sub 2, which is 2 down here. We're going to plug that in, and then minus, and the x sub 1. X sub 1 was -2. Again, that's because that's the first x I saw. Now, double negative makes a positive, so 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. 8 over 4 is 2, so we have a slope of 2, which is a positive slope. So if we did graph that, it should be going up, and if we do it, yup, look at that. We are good. We should do a few more examples just to make sure we're okay. So second example, I'm going to give you some new points, -6, 4, and -4, -2. And again, I label my x's first, and the x sub 1 is first, x sub 2 is the second one, and y sub 1 is the first one, and y sub 2 is the second one. I go back to the same slope formula. Y sub 2 was -2, so I plug that in its place. Y sub 1 was 4, so I plug that in its place. X sub 2 is -4, and x sub 1 is -6. And plug them all in, crunch out the numbers, and we end up with -6 over 2, which is -3. If we graph that, it should be a negative slope. Oh, look at that, it's going down. It's a negative slope. That's exciting. Example number 3. We'll give you a new set of points, -6, 3. And the first thing I'm going to do is label my points again. My x's and y's. The first x I see is x1. The second x I see is x2, and so on. And I would plug them into the same formula again. y2 is 3 minus y1 is 3. x2 was 4, and x1 is -6. 3 minus 3 is 0. Oh boy, we got a 0. 0 divided by 10 is 0. So we learned yesterday this should be a horizontal line if it has a slope of 0. Oh, the excitement. Last example. Ooh, thank goodness. This one will be a little bit tricky. I'm going to give you some different points. -4, 3, and 4, -4. And again, I'm going to label my points, x1 and y1, x2 and y2, and I'm going to plug them in the appropriate locations in the formula. Oh, look at that. And we end up with -7 over 0. Oh no! You cannot divide by 0. We learned yesterday if we have an undefined slope, then it must be a vertical line. All right, thank you very much.